Okay, so in the previous video we got up to here, and now we're going to do the framing of this building. So what I will do is I will resave it, so you can use this for your renderings and anything else you may want. I'm going to save it as so this is a little bit slow. So I'm just going to save it here as April 11. A separate file so that I can delete a bunch of stuff or hide a bunch of stuff, and basically build my framing model. You can keep it as one if you want and just hide all of the elements, but just to keep this simple, and because my computer is kind of laggy with the recording on it as well, I'm just going to go ahead and delete a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to delete my framing, my roof framing, but I'm going to delete my roof. So essentially this is what I'm going to be left with. Now we need some 2x6s that are going to go along the bottom. That's why we have this open. So if you see at the bottom here, there is a 2x6 called a sill plate. There's usually a double plate up here, but they have just a single one, so we're going to follow what they say. And then we've got a bunch of vertical studs. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to create a new family. File, new, there we go, cancel that. File, new, family. And first I'm going to create a horizontal 2x6. So I'm going to go to English. Metric generic, open. So now I'm looking at a floor plan. I'm going to go to an elevation because I want to draw the profile of it. So I'm going to say extrusion, rectangle. Just throw one in, doesn't matter because we can click and change these after. So 140 by 38. Okay, check mark. I'm going to move it down to 0. Okay, let's go to the 3D view. Now, I want to set it up with having 2 lengths. So first, oops, wrong one. I'm going to go back to my project. 3D. I'm going to go to my plan. So I want this 2x4 to go across this whole face. But actually I'd like it to go across the top of the footing. So I need to get that dimension from here to here. That's what I want the first distance to be, 14750. So back to my extrusion, 14750 will be the first length. Okay, let's save this, just so in case anything happens we don't lose it. We're not done with it yet, we just have to save it. So this will be horizontal, or we'll just say sill plates. So I have that distance. Now I need the other distance, but I need to do a calculation on that. From here all the way to here, there we go, 25150. But because I'm gonna have the width of my other sill plate going all the way up to here, I need to subtract the width of that from this distance, and obviously the same thing happens on the other side. So I'm going to take 25150 minus basically 140 times 2, which is 280. So 24870 is the distance we want to work with, but I need to do something else now. I'd like to be able to switch this back and forth whenever I want. So I'm going to click on it. When I click on it, I should get no, sorry, wrong thing. I'm going to go to floor plan, and I'm going to dimension its length. And then I will click on that dimension, not the object itself. Okay, so now I'm going to click on the dimension. It's going to give me this label dimension option. I'll click this little star shaped thing next to the box, and I'm going to name it sill plate length and hit OK. So now it's a variable that I can set. And so I'm going to go up into here, into families, and I'm going to say make a new family or new parameter, and this will be short sill plate. Done. And that's going to be 14750. Now I'm going to click it, new type again. So I'm going to make a new one. This one will be long sill plate. And that distance will be 24870. I think that's correct. Yes, it is. Apply and OK. And so now if I position my thing on the right here, I'm just going to go to consistent colors so it becomes a little more obvious. It's just a line at this point. But if I switch between long sill plate and I hit apply on short sill plate, it'll jump back and forth. So that's how I'm going to do my sill plates and eventually my top plate here. So next, I'm going to throw a little bit of texture on this thing just so it looks right. So I'm going to click it under materials. I'm going to click by category, hit those three little dots. And here I'm going to search for wood. Do I have wood? May not. You guys may have a little arrow, like another arrow here that you can click, and it'll give you options for wood. Nope. Open existing library. Do I have one? I do not. I had more here. Glass default roof lighting name. Okay, well, I'm not gonna make. I'm not gonna make a new. Holy smokes! What's going on here? I could make a material, but I want to keep this relatively short for you guys. Let me see. Do we have anything else here? Okay, I can add a material later. So for now, I'm going to leave it the way it is. So it's just going to be a gray member. I'm going to say save. I'm going to say load into project and close. Done. So we have this piece here. And before I continue, I'm going to make another family. So I'm going to say file, new family. Same thing, English, generic. Okay, and now what I want to do is I'm going to create the vertical stud for starters. So let's start with that. We are in the plan view, extrude, tool, there we go. Same idea, this will be 140 and this will be 38. Okay, check mark, done. Here, consistent color for now. And so how tall do I want this thing to be? So from here it's 2400 to the ceiling. Top of my joist is 900, so that's 3300 altogether. But these studs, first of all, go to the bottom of the joist, not the top. And so I think our joists are 2x10s. Actually, what am I doing? I don't need to calculate that. I can go and I think I can simply go to this file, give me my callout, should be able to dimension that. Now some stuff is missing here, I guess, because I deleted the walls, so a little bit not a little lack of foresight there on my part, but we should still be able to get what we want. So for starters, I want to go 3065. Actually, since we're here, I don't want to go 3065 because I want those studs to end at the bottom of this sill plate and to start at the top of the bottom plate. So actually the distance, the height that I want is going to be from, come on, it's giving me a hard time because this is just a detail line. I don't think it's going to let me do it. So that's okay, we'll have to do a calculation. Let's get that distance again, the one we had, the bottom of the joist. 3065 minus 38 and 38. I believe that's 76, but I don't want to risk it. 3065 minus 38 minus 38. So 2989 is the length, is the height that we would like this guy to start with. 2989. There we go. Now, same thing as before. Elevation. Dimension it. Okay, click the dimension. Create a parameter. Stud height. Okay. Go into here. We will call the first one stud. We'll just call it a stud. Now, I'm just going to look this up quickly so I can show you the next ones we need to do. Okay. Wood framing window opening. Will that give it to us? Images. Yeah, this is a pretty good diagram here. So, there's a couple of ways to do this. When you get to a window, so you have your regular studs that are kind of outside of this diagram. Now, when you start a window, you need to, it doesn't matter how close the next stud is, the regular stud. You need to find the rough opening of the window, which we will do in a minute, and you frame so the inside face of this tall stud is at the edge of the rough opening, and therefore this one is not a regular stud, it's called a king stud. Then under here is a jack stud, and that supports the lintel, which supports a few small studs on top that are just infilling that portion. And down here, not the most politically correct term, but come on, get out of here. What the heck? Okay, down here are, these short guys are called cripple studs, and then we have a rough sill. So, right now we're gonna make the king stud. Well, we already have that, that's a regular stud, height stud, jack stud, and the cripple stud. So to determine what height I want there, first of all, stud I have, so I'm going to say okay. Then I'm going to go back to my model, and I made a mistake here. I deleted, oops, what's going on here? Okay, I'm going to have to, no, where's my mistake? There we go. So I need to figure out where, first of all, where I want my windows. So you guys maybe don't delete your walls, maybe just keep them there so we can find them in the plan. Then I need to pick a window, or you need to look at the windows you have. So let's say this is my window here. What I can do is it in here, rough opening? There we go. So the rough height is, that's a huge window. What are we doing here? Let me just load this in quickly to see. No, there's no way that's 1800 tall. No, it is. So it is, I believe, it's sill. Where is it sill? Sill is in here. Sill height is at 900. So let's start with that. Okay, our sill height is at 900, which means that this is going to be at 900. Therefore, this needs to go from the sill plate to the bottom of that piece of wood, which the top of which will be 900. So in other words, I need to take 900 and subtract 38 and 38. So 900 minus 76, so 824 is going to be the height of my cripple stud. So back to here, I'm going to say families, copy, cripple, stud, and that is what, 824. 824. Apply and OK. Now I need my jack stud, and so I know that the top of my window is at rough height 1815. So that's how high my jack stud needs to be. It needs to go all the way to the top of that rough opening. So I think it was 1815. So back to here. Copy it, new family, jack, stud. Okay, and this guy's going to be 1815. Apply and OK. Okay, so we have all of those. I can say load into project and close. Oops, we need to save this first. Save as family. This will be studs. And now I think what I will, so load into project and close, fine. So let's place a few studs here. So top of footings, I think I'm going to start here. I'm going to go to architecture, components, stud, no, sill plate, short sill plate. And maybe I'm just going to drop it here for now, and I will orient it in 3D. There's a number of ways you can do this. I find sometimes this is the quickest. So what I would like first, I'm going to use the align button. So I'm going to click this, align. I want to align it to the top face of this, and I want to align the bottom face of this to that. So height, we're good now. Here, I would like to align this face to this short guy here. Wrong, something wrong. Let's try that again. So, oh, I'm looking at the floor slab. So let's hide that for a second. There we go. This, align. So to this short face, there we go. And then I think I want to align this to this. Now I think we're okay. Let's just check it on the other side. Lost it here. There. Okay, looks pretty good to me. I think maybe we aligned it to the outside face in terms of the measurements we set up. Let me just start with that. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to say architecture component, sill plate short, sill plate long. I guess I'm going to drop this guy in here too, and then I'll rotate him. Just going to type 90 to make sure it's 90. Click, move. Here. Sometimes it snaps, sometimes it doesn't. Nope, being difficult. Click it, align. So I'd like to align it to this top face. And I want to align the bottom face of it there. Okay. Next, I'd like to align it to this face, that face, and finally this face to, riding a roller coaster, to this guy. There we go. Okay, looks okay to me. We can copy this now if we want, then we don't have to do, we may not have to do much in terms of lining it after. Looks okay to me. This guy, copy. Not gonna give it to me. Okay, no problem. Another thing I could do, I mean, I could, if I putzed around there, I'd probably be able to find what I want and copy it, but you can also click on it and say mirror, draw axis, and pick the center line of this, center line of that, and those should be perfectly aligned. There we go. So we have our sill plate. Now we might as well go back to here for a sec. So this guy's down here, and the top of this, if we were to copy this, 3,000, no, we measured it. How high is this? Let's go to our drawing actually. So we would like this to be 3065 minus 38. $3027. So if I were to take this, hold down Control, grab all four, okay, copy. I want to make sure they're vertical. If that's going to work for me. No, that's not going to work. Let me try it in a different. We can change this thing called the plane, but that's going to be kind of clunky. So let's try it in an elevation instead. Okay. I think I still have them all selected, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit copy. Come up, and what's the distance? 3027. Okay. There we go. I have my top plate. My joists should land squarely on top of that. Let's see if they do. They do not. Do they? Let's try the other direction. What is this? Timber. Sill plates. Strange. Okay, so it intersects. Yeah, we have to resolve those columns at the end. I think these beams at the end, you may have to put another column on it. But I think in terms of this resting on the right thing, we're in a good place. So let's continue with the framing. I'm going to go to an architectural plan, and now I'm going to insert architectural component. We're going to now move on to studs. So let's just put a regular stud in, and I'm going to throw them in there. Let's see in 3D what that looks like. There we go. First things first, let's align. Click it, get that tool, align to the top face. The bottom face. Oh boy. Sorry for the zooming in and out. Align that. There we go. Okay. There. Okay. This guy is in. Looks like the right height. We're in good shape. Okay. Back to here. Now, we can either copy these 400 on center. So it'll say in this drawing 38 by 140 at 400 on center, or center to center, I think is what that stands for, stud wall. But there is a way to array this. One student did it very cleverly last class. Is that an array? Create some place an element of the same type as selected element. Nope, that's what I wanted. That's array. Array creates a linear or radial. So let's click it, and then we just follow the instructions here. So click to enter, move, start point. Okay. So there. Distance will be 400. Enter. Enter array count. What? Okay. What was this distance again? Let me. I think I did this one. So we are about 1114. Let's call it 1460. So let's say 37. We should just be able to delete the last one. Enter array count 37. Oops. 37. Give it to me? No, you won't. Kick me out. Let's try it again. Undo what we did. Undo. There we go. One more try with the array. If it doesn't work, then we'll just copy them individually. So there. Aim this way. 400 on center. And I think we said 37 pieces. There we go. Let's check that out in 3D. Nice. Okay. Now, if I want to copy one more, I think I can just do that. Perfect. Okay. And now I think I want to mirror those. And say select all instances visible in view. Mirror, pick axis. Can we get the center point? Yes, we did. Looking good. I think we got them on the other side. Nice. Let's check it out in 3D. Okay. So back to L1. Let's drop another stud. Maybe there. I'm going to rotate this guy. 90. Okay. Now I'm going to manipulate it in 3D. Line, top face. Got lost here. There we go. Top face and bottom face. Align this to this. One last alignment to make those two things touch. This one to this one. There we go. Now this distance is 2,500. No, 25,000. 60. So we're gonna try 63 again. Well, let's 62 because we took a little bit off because of the other sill plates. So what did I say? 62. L1. Array. Start point direction 400. 62. Done. Maybe one more here. So click, copy, 400. Actually, this one we would want to touch. So if you end up with, you can never be less than 400 center to center. And we do need one more here. So what I will do is, let me go to 3D. Grab this guy and I'm going to move him closer, and then I'm going to copy and put one. I have to always be at least 400 or less on center. So technically this is the regular stud, but then I also need a stud to connect to here. And if I had only done this one and not this one, the distance from here to here would be more than 400. Okay, so let's go to L1. I don't think I can do select all anymore, so I may have to go through individually. Can I just select the whole array? I guess I can. So, okay, so let's mirror the whole array first. Mirror. Oh, it's tough to pick the center line now because all those studs are in the way. Oh, there we go, found it. Let's see if it worked. Some dimensions were not copied. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like it worked out for me. I think I copied a dimension. Oops. No, I didn't. I copied something. Okay, let's do this differently. Let's go to the elevation. This guy, hold down shift. I mean control, my bad. Grab those guys. These guys. This guy. There's probably an easier way to select an array. I think I'm doing this in a fairly clunky fashion, but I just want to get you guys something that works, and we can look at efficiency as a second priority. Okay, back to here. Mirror. Let's find that center point again. I think it's there. Okay. Out of here. Okay, so we're all framed up. So I'm going to save it. Now we're ready to start throwing in the openings. So I'm just going to do one opening with you guys, because you guys probably have different openings than I do. So I'm going to show you the method. Let me just make sure I'm recording this. Okay, I am. Whew. So I need to create a rough opening of, I think 1415. 1415. Okay, so I'm gonna go here, and let's say I want my window. You don't have to do what I'm about to do. I just want to kind of show you graphically what I want to do. Let's say my window starts here. I'm just gonna pick an arbitrary spot. Click this. Copy. 1415. So I need to turn this space into a window frame. So what I'll do first is I might, let's say, grab, I wonder if I can just, oh, hold on, edit group, those, no. I can delete individual ones, I think, yes, I can. I can even move individual ones around. And then you can click this thing called ungroup, which just makes them, their own entities. So I'm going to use that stud there. I'm going to use this stud here. Okay, oops, a little bit more. Come on. One more try. There we go. This guy can go away. And so now if I come out to here, there we go. So my opening is now correct, and at no point have I exceeded 400 on center. Now I can go architecture, component, stud, jack stud. Oh, I have to rotate this guy. Click him. Actually, I don't think I have to rotate him. I have a better way. This is why we made them as families. So I'm going to click this guy, copy him to here. And I'm pretty confident this will work, so I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other side. Okay, 3D. Now I'm going to select the one I want to change. And here, oh, come on. Should let me switch it to jack stud. Maybe it's because it's in an array still. So let me click that, ungroup, stud, jack stud. Bang. This guy, ungroup, stud, jack stud. So I have my jack studs. Now I need to position some cripple studs underneath, probably at 400 on center as well. So maybe what I'll do is I'll simply grab this guy, copy 400, 400, 400. Now that's less than 400, so I'm just going to leave it. Back to 3D. 1, 2, 3. Cripple studs. There we go. Now we're ready for a sill plate here. We're ready for a double lintel here. And then for a few short studs up here, and we're done. So let me just see if I can check the distance. Uh-oh. No, my rough opening should be from the inside of the jackstans. Inside face of this guy. This is not working out for me here. There. 2. I'm going to rotate a bit. To this face. 1450. Yeah. So I need to actually move it out by 30, 38 on each side. My mistake. So back to here. Okay. So this and this move 38. I think that'll make it correct now. This and this move 38. Actually, I can't do that. I have to move all of these guys. Huh. Oh no, that's the end. Sorry, my mistake. So here, 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 move 38. And now, hopefully we're okay. Now nothing lines up. Fantastic. What's going on here? Let's try this again. Annotate. From the inside face of this guy to the inside face of this guy. 1415. We're in business. Okay. That means that I need a 1415 horizontal piece. So maybe what I can do, I'm going to click this, edit family. I'm going to click here, say new type. This is going to be window, sill, and I can even type the length if I want in case you have more types of windows. And I'm going to switch this to 1415, apply, okay. Save, yes. Load into project and close. Overwrite the existing version. Everything should still stay the same. But now I should be able to throw in a windowsill. So I'm going to have to do some work on this guy to get him in the right position. Rotate. Oh boy. Alright. Align. We want it to align to this. Okay, now I'd like this outside face here to align to its outside face there, and then this guy to align to the inside face of this guy. Ah, wrong, I did it in the wrong order. This face to align to that face. There we go. Okay. Not too shabby. Now we need a whole new element, which are 2x10 vertical pieces to create the lintel. So I'm going to have to say, I'll save, and I need a new family. So file, new family, Back to metric generic. I'm going to go to an elevation to do it from the side. Extrusion. Oops, wrong tool. I always forget what a 2x10 is, so I know it's for sure 38 this way. But it's 9 1/4. So 9.25 times 25.4. So we're going to make it 235. Okay, check mark, and now the length will be 1415 for this window. So I'm gonna go 1415. Okay, but again, if you have more than one kind of window, you can do what we did before, where you basically give it a dimension. Okay, you turn that dimension into a parameter, call it lintel length. Okay, then you create a family where you can say here 1415 length. Okay, and then if you, let's say, want a different length, if I had a window with a 2000 lintel, I could say 2000 length, hit OK, and here I change it to 2000, apply and OK, and then I say save. We haven't saved it yet, so this would be lintel 2x10. And so this way I can generate as many sizes of this lintel as I want. So load into project and close. It's asking me to dunk it in here. Sure. Let's rotate it first. Okay, somewhere hidden now. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to move it a bit so I can see the bottom of it. Okay. Align to the top of this. Where are you? There it is. Go. Okay. This guy outside face to this outside face. Huh. Something feels weird about I did it the wrong way. Align, I should have clicked this face first and then this face. And now the last thing I need to do is click and align to this face. Here. I believe that's it. How come it's too it's too short because we are above the jack studs. So I need to click this guy, edit family, go back. That's good. Now I can show you how to change it if you make a mistake. I did that on purpose, obviously. So right now it's 2000. Okay, so if I want to change the original one, I need to go to here. See, this way I'm modifying the 2000 length one. I don't want that. I want to modify 1415. So hit apply. And actually I don't need to change it in here. I can simply change it in here, and I need to add 76. 1415 plus 6 is 1491. So I can make this 1491. Apply and OK. Now, if I'm being really thorough, I should rename this. Okay, apply, okay. Load into project, just become a yes man. Yes. Yes person, not a yes man. Okay, overwrite, do it. It still looks not great. What happened here? It's giving us all three lengths for some reason, but that's okay. So click, it may be that it extends it on the wrong side, in which case you have to move it again. But now I'm going to copy this because we want a double lintel. It's going to let me do that. I want to move it. Copy. Come on here. Copy. Click to enter move starts. Something strange happened here. Perhaps from here. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we have this. We have our window framed. Now we need a few studs above. So let's check that dimension. Annotate, aligned. So from this face, not gonna do that. I'm just recording a video for my students. I'm not talking to myself, so sorry. Just trying to find the face. There we are. So we're looking for this distance from here to here, 939. So now we can grab our cripple studs, edit family, add a new one, and say maybe cripple stud 2 or top, I don't know what the correct term for those are, top cripple studs, and forget our dimension, 939. I'm gonna take a guess. Apply, okay. Sorry, I forgot it. 939, okay. $939, good. Save and load into project, yes. Now what I might be able to do here, let me see if I can, doesn't help much. Here's that. Okay, I think what I could do is I can simply take the bottom guys. Is that all there is? I think it is. Copy from here to here, and then I should be able to switch them from cripple to top cripple, and I think we are done. That's how that can go. Now if you wanted, sometimes, what did they do in our example here? Yeah, that's how they did it here. So, that's it. That's how you would do the framing for all windows. For doors, you would simply have this framing here. You would eliminate this. Then you would need to cut this bottom somehow. I wonder if we can split this. It's not ideal. Pick new host. We don't want to do that. Can we edit a family without editing the family? That's the question. Okay, so for the purpose of this model, I would argue normally you would cut this out. Okay, so this would be cut, or would you cut it? Yes, you would. I believe you would. So you would cut this piece of wood from this frame to here, or these jack and the two studs would go right down. It doesn't really matter where you cut it. And perhaps you'd cut it here, and then these two vertical studs would go to the footing, and then it would have no wood between the faces of the vertical studs. And then you would, when you're finishing the building, you just have a metal plate that spans the floor and the pavement outside. But we're using Revit in a way that isn't quite intended to be used here. So you could go through the extra work of creating a custom length joist that ends there. Sorry, a custom length sill plate that ends there, and then another small one that goes from here to here. And that would give you the desired effect. In fact, maybe I'll do it quickly, but it's just a lot of extra work for you guys. So if you decide not to do that, I think I could speak with Vasca, and he would probably understand why why you decided not to do what I am about to do. So I need one that's this length, and I need one that is this length. Okay, so 22020. Okay, and the other one, one, 4, 3, 5. This has just gotten shorter on one side. There we go. So now what I would do, we go do it here, 3D. I would now align, oops, wrong face, align to this face. Face. And on second thought, I actually think doing it this way is correct. You wouldn't bring this back to make these really tall. I don't think you would. Because you may build it with this in place. So you can build it as one piece, and then you would just simply cut that out at the end. I have a feeling that's how it may work. I've seen it done both ways, and I don't know which one to decide is more correct. But I believe the way we did it here is good. Wrong one. Component. No, it's custom. That's what we call it. Custom. This guy. So I gotta do a bit of, actually, you know what, I don't have to do that rotation on it. I'm gonna take this, copy it from here to there, and then I'm just gonna switch this guy. There we go. So, and that would be a door. Now obviously the opening is too large, but I'm just showing you that this is how you could make it. And with those tools, you should be able to frame the rest of it. You can apply the material the same way we applied the material here. If you have any issues with that, just let me know. Actually, we didn't. That's dimensional lumber. The same way I showed you how to apply materials. I just didn't have that soft wood material there, but on the school computers it is there. If you have any issues, contact me anytime. Good luck, and yeah, let me know if I can help. Thank you. Goodbye, guys.